Hello comrades. Recently, I recorded a welding video that was supposed to come out much sooner, even though it's been only a few days. However, it has been delayed due to some technical difficulties I came across. Not enough heat was transferring up from the steel crucible to get everything nice and molten. So instead of shortening it, today I'll be showing you how you can make your own foundry for a much taller crucible like mine. Of course, you can modify this design however you feel like it. Now, let's start by designing our foundry. I have drawn together a little schematic for what I'm going for. Now, as you can see here, we use 2 bricks for the bottom and 4 bricks to create the height. And I'm going to be using 2 bricks so it can get up to, let's see here, 18 inches tall. Now that's a little taller than my crucible, which is perfect because now I am able to have 2 more bricks on top for a lid to completely insulate everything. Now just with this design, I used 12 bricks. Now with the remaining 4 that I have left over, I planned on cutting it in half and then into triangles to create a corner. With those cut bricks, I will create a octagon and keep everything nice and small. You cannot really just use 4 bricks. You do need something for the corner, otherwise this little piece right here is going to leak a lot of heat and it's not going to be safe. Something to note is that this is just the brick and the cement holding it together. I really recommend having some sort of steel bar to keep everything still, and then put one at the bottom to keep everything smushed and make sure nothing breaks off, because if your foundry cement cracks and the brick falls out, that's super hot and you're gonna burn yourself. You can take inspiration from TAOW and buy some angle iron and weld it all together, which I'm going to do. But this is the basics of what you need to create a foundry. So I got my bricks. Now I have 16 of these and some leftover refractory cement that I used in my forge, which I used to make knives, although that's kind of out of service since I'm thinking of making something else. Now, no matter who you are, always wear a respirator with this because you're gonna get silicosis if you breathe this in. It's not good. You're probably never gonna breathe the same for the rest of your life if you get silicosis, but be safe and wear gloves.
Have your knife handy, but I don't have a knife, I have a chisel. So let's dry fit it and see how much space we have. Make sure everything is correct. Make adjustments if necessary. This is pretty much what I was going for. It's pretty spot on. Not a lot of gapage. Although I did notice there is a little bit of a there is a little bit of an edge right here that's not too big of an issue, but something to keep an eye out for. So I don't have like a trowel to do this with, but I got this cool stick. Make sure to keep everything clean. I accidentally got some the dirt in here, but as long as you keep everything clean, nothing should explode. Okay, that should be enough to at least keep everything nice and settled. Okay, we have the base done. Now for these bricks, we're going to be doing the same thing, coating one side with cement and then the bottom with cement as well. I want to keep everything nice and sturdy, give it enough time to dry, and yeah, make sure everything is stable. I'll see you when this is over. Make sure to wear clothes that you know are gonna get dirty. I'm gonna put these in the wash because they're covered in cancerous material. The main tower is now done. All we have to do now is make a lid. I'm going to be using this 1 3/8 inch hole cutting saw to create a vent for the lid. To create a lid is pretty easy. You get your cement and the other 2 bricks that you got. Now all you gotta do, cement both sides like this. Just gotta cement it here and then a little on the other. You put them together and then you drill a hole in the center. Now with these 2, I added a little here. You just have to do the same thing you did with the base. Clamp it nice and tight together. That's a fucking lot of dust. And paste both sides like so to create a nice seal. Now what I am going to do is, with our saw, put it right in the center, and then you're gonna hand drill. I would not recommend power tools, but they can go too fast and instantly rip through your brick. After you're done drilling the hole, you can cement it all up and make sure it's nice and solid. You could use electric tools, as I've learned, but unless you want to make a really big mess, I wouldn't really recommend it. Do it outside or someplace easy to clean. I'm gonna have to spray my whole garage now. It's covered in dust. Now to fix up those corners, we're gonna take our brick and cut it in half, then into triangles so we can fit it right there. That's gonna save some space and make sure each brick is used to its maximum. We got our 2 blocks cut up. Now I'm going to attempt to cut them again into a triangle, and then from there we'll cement them on. A very thick layer of dust settling on my phone, but here's the finished result. I'm going to add steel, and I'm going to add maybe a few wheels so I can move it around a lot more easy. It is pretty dang insulated in there. You can't really see because it's pitch black, but if I were to cut those bricks a little better, I might have looked a little nicer, but I ran out of plaster, and I gotta get more to make sure that thing doesn't leak. But I'm sure, as the way it is, it will be fine.